Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Enjoyed our conversation from the other day, Mr. O'Brien.
Same here, sir.
Yep, and I've been clear that when it comes to large corporations and the ability to effectively bargain with them, there's no replacement for a union. It's important. We also had the conversation knowing that I built my business up from the very grassroots level, and I think I made the statement, I never could tell the difference between blue collar and white collar because we work together that well. That's why I've never had trouble hiring people into the business that 3 of my 4 kids now run, along with a good young executive team. So these issues, this tug of war, especially as many industries have gotten very concentrated. Even to the issue that was the biggest deal to me was the high cost of health care. And Senator Sanders and I have talked about that. It's a broken industry. Larger and larger companies control it. Even the practitioners, nurses and doctors, are having second thoughts about whether they want to invest all that time, especially doctors, where you're post undergrad, you're spending a minimum 4 to 5 years, especially up to 9. And many think that they should still have their own business and increasingly are having to work for corporations that keep depressing their fees. So I understand the dynamic, but I don't know that we talked about, like anyone to weigh in on it would be that other end of the economy, the gig economy, the independent contractor, and I know that gets to be a more difficult discussion. Most small businesses, my wife's had one for nearly over 40 years, and she's been an entrepreneur longer than I have. They make their living out of it. So that is their wage. And I'd just like you to weigh in on, where I'm at when it comes to collective bargaining with large corporations. But then when you try to maybe collectively put individuals together and take that same philosophy, I don't know that that need is there. And I also would like your opinion of when it comes to that individual earning a living, that is about like the blue collar worker in the sense that they're both trying to accomplish the same thing, pay the bills, not necessarily a return on investment. Mr. O'Brien, do you want to start with that?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule last week to meet. And I just want to know for the record that you were very supportive of our Teamster rail workers and their plight to get sick time, and I believe because of people like yourself who were able to achieve some of that stuff. Look, I know your history pretty well, and you're an employer that does right by his people, from what I've heard, and that's commendable. Unfortunately, there's a lot of more employers that don't take that same philosophy, and the one good thing that I've learned from you, and you just stated here, that it's going to be a generational business, right? And it's going to provide opportunity, and you're going to provide those core values and direction to the next generation, which is great. Look, I don't think anybody's trying to impede on anybody's right to be an entrepreneur or to have their own business. That Lyft Uber model that Senator Cassidy described, the $500 a day, $500 a day does seem like a lot of money. But when you factor in, expenses, no health care, no benefits, these workers are coming to us. We're not soliciting them. But as far as the entrepreneurial stuff goes, I don't think we're looking to impede anybody's ability to be an entrepreneur, to have a small business. Most of the people that come to our organizations come to us for a reason or a violation or a grievance that they can't deal with their employer one-on-one. We are not out there seeking, to destroy anybody's business. Look, I work with billion-dollar corporations like UPS and many others, the airline industry, and we collectively work together. Why? To create jobs, but also to make their business as successful as possible. Because if their business is successful, our members are going to be successful. So I don't want anybody to think that, we're targeting a certain individual. Senator Mullen and I got into it pretty hard today. I don't condone going to someone's personal home if you got an issue in the workplace. We don't condone that. We won't do it. Okay, but on the same hand, if people come to us, want to be members of our union because their employers are not providing the health care, stealing wages from them, not allowing them to have a voice in the workplace, and not protecting their safety, then we are extremely relevant in that process.
Thank you. About out of time. Does anyone else want to briefly weigh in on that topic?
I would just say for small business, I think it's just like doctors coming together in a medical association, independent entrepreneurs coming together to, get access to benefits at scale. That's what we're talking about here is collectively improving our lot, whether you're in a union working in a hospital or if you're a small business person. But the PRO Act would not, as Sean said, discourage independent contractors who are truly independent. I think what we're trying to get at is employers who are misclassifying their workers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator